final days before our students go into their third round of testing. As always, we know people are hurting, and we ask that you heal them, you give them peace if they need it, you give them strength where they need it, and as always, we ask that you make each one of us a little bit more like you each day. All this we pray in your heavenly name. Amen.
Amen.
Please address the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ms. Hogan, have there been any changes to the agenda?
No, Madam Chair.
Do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Agenda is passed. I'd like to welcome everyone tonight, and we'll kick off the meeting with the superintendent's highlights.
Thank you. And I will kick off the meeting in introducing Mrs. Westfall. We have Mr. Richardson, we have Coach Daniels, and we have Miss Myrie. And they will do a wonderful presentation of something they call the Devil Walk.
Well, we changed the name of it.
Okay.
It's actually called the Devil Walks
Pathway.
to Success. So when hello everybody, DUS High School, High School, and I have my esteemed team here, missing one. He just said, "Where are you?" So we have our new head football coach, Cedric Daniels, is with us.
Hey,
Come
go
on,
ahead,
get in
come
here,
on.
get in here.
You've been called out.
Next time, y'all gotta tell me what door to come in.
Adrian Weeks, our dean, Amanda Myrie, our high school guidance counselor, and Jack of all trades, I'd say. And Jason Richardson, he is our he is our football booster club president, but he's also a developer of the Devil Walk program. And when I came in, they said, "Oh, where are y'all's kids?" Well, they're not here yet because we don't have them in the program yet. So we're kind of doing a pre, and then we'll give you a post meeting. But we just launched this. It was kind of funny that it all kind of coordinated. I always think God can work that way, but Miss Myrie and I had been talking about after we had our first round of our seniors to come in on senior night. We only ended up having about out of 165 students. We only had about 10 families show up, and I think we had CF there and St. Leo's there. And I was really disappointed in it, so immediately I started thinking, why didn't we have it? Did we not? Because we didn't have food, we didn't have this. We had a great presentation, but we had very minimal turnout. And so I kind of started asking around Chiefland and all them, how are you getting your people there? So literally right after that meeting, Mr. Richardson came to see me and said, "Hey, I want to talk to you about athletes and getting them through the NCAA process, because a lot of them think they're just going to go on to a Division I school and they're skipping all the steps in between." So we started with basically a little launch group and kind of a think tank, and that's how we developed this program. So we want to present it to you tonight. We actually just did a soft launch, and they're going to talk about it a little bit, but everybody just kind of came into the school, hired on, starting with, and we just all fell together. And so our goal with this program is to provide, we started with athletes, but we are going to expand it, and Ms. Myrie will talk a little bit about this. It's going to be expanded to the entire school. We'll start in 8th grade. And traditionally, we would only meet with these groups of kids one time a year, and we realized the more we put it in their face, the more we talk to our parents about it, the more we make our parents aware of deadlines, classes that need to be had, and that's what they're going to present tonight. So I'm super excited about it. We just did our first soft lunch on February 19th, and we had more. We had 30 kids walk in the door, and they came in after practice because once we said NCAA eligible, it perked their ears. So we had to dangle a carrot, and I'm super excited about it. We're working some kinks out along the way. So when we come back next time, we're going to bring you some success stories with it, but we're in the beginning stages. So I'm going to let Jason Richardson talk to you just a little bit about where we're going with it and the vision that he has.
Hey, so I'm gonna go through the slides right quick, but I'm not gonna go through every word. You guys have this, so if you feel like you'd like to have it for to
digest later, just reach out to us. Obviously, we'll give this to you for review and copy, paste, however you want to use it. But overall, I just wanted to talk quickly about why we started the program. She mentioned I am the Football Booster president, and I also have 6 children, and they're all in the all in athletics and all over the place all the time. And I really didn't have good answers for my oldest about how do I get from point A to point B. And so the meeting really kind of came together organically, and we just wanted to make sure that we could connect our students with the right resources, because as she mentioned, Ms. Myrie and all the other administrators and teachers and counselors do a great job while they're there. But it's hard to find the people in the community and the students and the parents and put them together in the right place at the right time. And so that was kind of my vision, was like, hey, I got all these great kids, but they need answers and they need direction. And I know that because my kids are asking me like ACT questions and stuff I can't give them the answers to. So what we wanted to do was build them a step-by-step process and give them a packet that they could do a check-in twice a year, fall and spring. So summer and fall. And then in that time, we would also create ambassadors for the program. So your juniors who are coming up, and they understand what to do, and they got freshmen coming on. Hey, where do I go for football practice? Where do I go to get my ACT sign up? Hey, you know what? Go over there and talk to the senior so-and-so, and they're going to be your guide, and they're going to help you get through the program. They also are going to work to empower the parents to get to the administration, get to the counselors, and learn about how do we get from just being a student to being eligible. And like she said, we focused on NCAA eligibility because there's extra steps. Also, athletes, people who are in extracurricular, are more motivated, generally speaking, than your everyday student who doesn't participate. So it's an entry point. It's not the only person, but we got to start somewhere. And it's important to eat this a little bit at a time. We can't do everything. And so that was kind of our idea, is start small and then move out into the regular student body. So what we saw was like people were missing key dates, key times. They weren't getting the deliverables they need to be done to earn scholarships. Scholarships would go unfulfilled, and there's money sitting there for these athletes, for these regular students, that we wanted to get into the hands. And I heard this from the Chamber of Commerce. I heard this from people who were supporting our program from a football standpoint. Hey, I'd love to give you $500, but the kid didn't fill the form out right. Well, how do I get that information to those kids? I don't have that right now. So this was a guide and a roadmap that we put together with just guardrails in a lot of ways. So what we wanted to give is a post-graduation plan, a scholarship and deadline tracker, and then, of course, all the financial stuff. A lot of people who don't understand, never been to college, maybe their kids are the first ones who will ever go, they don't know what a FAFSA is, and it can be daunting. And also, if you don't fill that out right, it might cost you in the long run. So we have the resources available. How do we get it to that student? Another option or an opportunity for us was helping the kids with communication skills, essay writing, review of these essays, because although they're very intelligent, very smart, when you put them in front of someone they're not comfortable, it kind of just shuts down. And I've seen it firsthand, especially when it comes to interview process and just simple communication back and forth. And that matters, especially when you're in a recruiting mindset. When you talk to a coach, you don't want to say, I want to come to your school so I can go be a D1 athlete. I want to come to be the best player at your division, at your school, forever. And that gets lost whenever you're stumbling over your words. And so that was kind of the gap that we saw. It was like, how do we get all of that information packaged appropriately? So how it works is we have kickoff meeting. Like she said, it was kind of a soft launch. We had about 30 individuals there. We're very happy about that. We're going to do a fall and a spring, and then we're going to do email reminders through Parent Square, and then we're going to have them do check-ins. The maturity here is one-on-one, so eventually we will get to a point to where we have sponsors either in the school through student athletes or even normal students driving the younger and underclassmen to the administrators, to the counselors, saying, hey, have you done your ACT prep work? Remember, we got that test coming up. We've got to start studying for that. So is empowerment, right, and starting that leadership pipeline. And then lastly is bringing those resources out in the community into the school system. So we have people who call me, who talk to me, who ask me questions all the time. How do I get to this person? And it's not necessarily they don't know how. They may just not understand, oh, Miss Westfall is very approachable. have you talked to Ms. Myrie? She's a wonderful person. Well, I'm not real sure. So it's just a channel and a way for us to bring in people from outside in, and that's kind of where I fit in. And then also helping others become external sponsors, and then using our alumni to push people back into the school and saying, hey, there's 1,000 ways to be successful. Have you tried this one? Have you tried trade? Have you tried being a pilot by chance? And so there are opportunities everywhere we look. We just got to find ways to get them to the right persons. And so as we continue and to mature the program and kind of as I wrap up here, it's like we just want to make sure that we are committed to bringing everybody together with the right information. And it had nothing to do with that people weren't doing their job, and we were doing their job really well, but it's in silos. And so I just thought that having an organized way and then a structured way, especially starting with our athletes, was the best opportunity. And it sounds like we're going to be successful. There's a lot of buy-in from the administration and from our coaching staff, our administrators, to make this successful, because we've been very successful in other ways, and now it's just time to do that from an athletic standpoint and transition that to academics. So thank you for your time.
Thank you, Jason.
All right, so Ms. Westfall is going to pass out some of our pathway packets for you all, and in this,
Thanks.
I'm kind of loud, so I might wander a little bit. So this is the pathway packet we gave out to our parents and our students that came to our event on the 19th of February. I'm not going to go page by page, but I will share with you that in here, the first page is the agenda of what we have that night, speaking upon the resources we have available to our students. In here, or also at our events, we had College of Central Florida and Santa Fe there to speak upon not only their academic progress and programs, but also their athletics as well. You'll see a table of contents. This is going to go grade by grade. The high school graduation requirements, NCAA speaks about Bright Futures eligibility, our testing schedule that we have coming up at Wilson Middle High School, our dual enrollment, important contacts at our school, and then what my most favorite piece is my little baby, I'm not a tech person, we'll learn that quickly, is the QR resource page, just on the back of your packet. So this is a kind of quick resource for our parents and our students to scan with their cell phone. That brings them to ACT resources, College Board, CLT, SAT, Bright Futures, FAFSA, everything's right here. I know I'm speaking quickly, but you'll see kind of what we use on our campus for graduation requirements, as well as what we encourage our students to do. What's most exciting for me is we are in the midst of scheduling students for the upcoming academic school year. And when students come in, I'm able to have this, I've been talking to Ms. Westfall about this for years, brought up to Ms. Taylor in some of our counseling meetings and some of our other opportunities, and we gotta have like a quick guide for everybody, not just at Wilson, but across our district, because there's no sense in all of us working in these silos and reinventing the wheel, because the resources are there. We can update it, we can make it work. So the goal, not only to have this at our school, but to utilize this on every campus, on our school webpage, as an opportunity for parents to have a greater access to the resources we have. Because we know across the board, a lot of times our parent meetings, our information nights aren't exactly as well attended as we would like. So meeting the community where it's at, sometimes good old fashioned paper works really well, and to have a checklist in here. So we will be launching this and having another kind of opportunity for students to interact with the Pathway program at our Career and College Night as our food truck rally on April 9th. So having information for parents and members of the community on what is available on our campus in regards to our career and technical education programs, our AP courses, and then dual enrollment. So we'll have a lot of community members, Career Source will be there, Santa Fe, College Central Florida, and then our community program is kicking butt. So, yes.
We
Thank
have
you.
our last two come up together to talk about their support of the program.
Here is
We left y'all a minute, 30 seconds.
Coach Daniels doesn't understand when you put a Baptist preacher up first, it's gonna take up most of your time. Honestly and truthfully, guys, I'm so excited to be a part of this program because I've been on the other side of it. As a former college athlete, I know what it's like to go to college, and I'm embarrassed to tell you, that I was unprepared because I was a first generation college student. My parents only knew how to put character and integrity into me, but when it came to college, they didn't know a whole lot about it. And certainly didn't know a lot about college athletics. And so I wind up going through a program in college that they no longer have called Proposition 48. And it was when you offered an athlete a scholarship and you signed them, but they were academically ineligible because they missed one class. And I actually went through that process and was redshirted by Terry Bowden and didn't play that season because I didn't have a program like this that made sure that every I was dotted and every T was crossed and all of the boxes were checked. So I have a personal connection to this. So when Ms. Westfall asked me to be a part of the team, I could advise families and athletes from that standpoint that we want to make you successful, not just at Williston Middle High School, but whatever place the Lord blesses you to be in. Because I know what it's like to be an athlete who's overwhelmed by the college campus that you're attending because it was bigger than my hometown. All right? And so I had to get adjusted to finding different things. And so we're putting together an infrastructure that's going to allow all of our athletes, all of our students, our band members that are going on to the next level of whatever portion of life that they'll be able to go and they'll be successful by this foundation. And so I thank you all for hearing us and allowing us to be here today, and certainly I'm blessed to be a part of the program. I'm going to turn it over to our head football coach who now has 15 seconds.
I'll be fast. So when I got hired, Ms. Westfall, one thing she said to me was, we have a good athletic program. I would like to see our kids do better in school academically and move on to the next level, whether it's academics or athletics. I'm a strong believer in academics fuels athletics because the one thing you don't understand if you're not a parent of an athlete is if my kid doesn't meet the proper scores or whatever, because you're thinking like the school is doing what they're supposed to as a parent, but you have no idea what the rigors of the NCAA requirements. Like for instance, my son had to take a ingenuity class as we're dropping him off at the University of Delaware because the state of Florida requires 4 history classes and they require 5. Or vice versa, 3 and they require 4. So on our ride up, we were finishing the ingenuity class to drop him off at school. So for me, like I say, academics drives my household, drives everything I've ever done as far as athletics. For instance, this week, we will, Friday, because it's going to be close to spring break / what is this? Swanee River Fair. I didn't know people take off for the Swanee River Fair, but it's a great idea in a small community. So we will, because I know attendance will be low, we will sit down as a team in the weight room. Instead of working out, we will do our NCAA clearinghouse information right then and there. So I would have at least 30% of our football program done with their clearinghouse information, in which now they go back to guidance to press the button for the free acceptance of the waiver. And now only guidance has to do put the transcripts and the information in, so now we can check and see where we stand athletically as far as academics is concerned. But if you're in the good academic standings with the NCAA, you should be in good academic standings with the school, right? Because I think the NCAA requires a 2.34 GPA. So if you have a 2.34, most people should have close to a 2.830 GPA. So that's just the bare minimum. So that's the way I look at it. We will be sending kids off to school. Right now, I just got on about a month ago, and I'm helping a senior out right now who just picked up 4 offers on Wednesday, or last Friday, excuse me. So the one thing I know is athletics and how to get kids into school. It's not a recruiting tool if your kid wants to come to Williston. But I know what athletics can do for a kid. My only thing to a kid is go fail in somebody else's community. Right? Don't sit here. I hate to say fail, but go try. Because life is a lot bigger than Levy County or Alachua County. You know, just get out. You might meet the woman of your life, you know, in somebody else's community. That's pretty much it for me, but that's what we're looking for a minute.
No, it's good.
Yeah, I will say, I'm gonna brag on him. I think you took your athletes from your last school from average 2.0 to
Yeah, when I was at Eastside, I think when I first took the job, it was a 2.0. When I left, we finished with like right at 2.9. Overall, I had out of my 27 2 seniors, 19 qualified with passing the ACT and SAT.
That's awesome.
Oh, another thing, people, gotta go. The parents, if you did not know this, the ACT, SAT, you get 3 free waivers to take the SAT and ACT. A lot of schools don't tell kids that, and then their ACT waivers go in the garbage, correct? And financial aid and college application.
You literally walk. Can you get a group picture
Oh, yes, this is very
before?
good.
That'd be great.
Hi, oh, can we get our?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know I like to post a few things.
Yeah, just a few. We can do a quick video if you want. No.
Well, what I love about the checklist, I want to say is, every year, we're keeping the master copies, so every year the kid will have that in their hand, and we'll say, did you complete everything you should have in 8th grade? Did you complete everything in 9th grade? So the more we can put that in front of the parent, they'll start to get the hang, like, this is what we got accomplished this year. Versus them trying to guess. Thank you.
Well, back in the day, when we were at Williston, many, many decades ago, we had, Miss Ridenauer had like a rocket program, and it was so clearly just the pathway, but I love the fact that y'all are doing this as a team, because I said, I don't know how many times last year, and I know Miss Myra was glad to see me go when the boys were gone, but this is with a mom that's involved, and it's important to remember where we are and how many kids do not have a mom to help them and make sure. I mean, we lost a couple years ago probably the star baseball player because no one knew he had like a 1.8. Remember, couldn't play his senior year. Kyrie didn't have his FAFSA filled out. Remember, like, it was all hands on deck for that. So I love the fact that this is a team effort, because you are one person. Miss Philpott is one person. I mean, you guys have so many hats. And you too now, Mr.
Well, that's why
Richardson.
we're using, Mr. Richardson as an extension of the community.
Yeah, that's great.
He travels to many different athletic programs, but he also is at the chamber and all of that, and they all say, we want to help. And so now he knows what our upcoming events are, what we have going on, and for us to bring those people in. Ms. Myrie saw the opportunity when Mr. Boggs is doing the food truck boards, and I know we're doing a career day, a career fair. She was like, why don't we go ahead and bring in some locals and have them out in tents that night to go ahead and just catapult off that, because it draws, I haven't been part of food.
Last year was about 600.
So we got, that'll be our first, second, that'll be our next
That was a good
one,
night.
of maybe summer
Good
jobs,
night.
connecting kids,
Yeah.
because we have people ask all the time, so I think just having boots on the ground outside of school, in school.
I like the fact too that y'all want to share it with other schools in the
Yes.
district. We appreciate that.
Yes. So that's
great.
what we are, y'all are seeing them watching.
Good.
It's great.
Best of luck
Good,
with
yeah.
it.
Yeah. You guys want to take a minute to slip out, or do you want to stay? Okay.
Thank y'all, appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here.
War Eagle, Mr. Weeks.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, War Eagle, is he from Auburn?
He played Auburn, he's from Union County. He's from Union County, I do like that red and
I
black.
can't say a bad word. Okay, next up, Matt. It doesn't say it on the agenda. Matt, okay, yes.
Filling in for Ms.
Okay, yeah.
Hey, good evening. I'm filling in for Miss Julia.
Okay.
But for the review, we have not had any public comments on this, and nothing has changed as far as the policy or wording or anything like that. So we're just anticipating moving forward to the 24th meeting, and then hopefully approving that.
Okay. Awesome. Thanks for the update.
Thank you.
We're looking for approval to advertise.
Right, so just keep.
This is a review.
Okay.
We did.
And next on the agenda is Mr. Sockman.
Right.
Yep, and switched it up.
I'm gonna talk
Both
first,
of you.
and I'm gonna do the details.
We are here to revise bid number 2503, which was re-roofing Bronson Elementary School Building 3, 6, and 7. That was awarded back in January to Lewis Walker Roofing. We had an issue with the manufacturer's warranty that we had in the bid documents, that they couldn't provide the warranty we need. So we're gonna have two different motions tonight. One to cancel the contract that we had with Lewis Walker Roofing, and one to award the second best option, which was Keeler Roofing. And I'm gonna let him talk about the details of the warranty and why we're doing this.
Good evening. Some of our bid specs, and there's a lot of stuff here and a lot of detail. Our bid specs call for a minimum 20-year manufacturer-backed workmanship warranty, material and workmanship warranty. Well, when we chose Lewis Walker, prior to us recommending them, they sent us this warranty information, and in it says here a 25-year manufacturer back. So we're good. We come recommended. Let's go with Lewis Walker. Well, during the submittal phase of the project, I got the details of the warranty, which is about 6-7 pages like this. And down in this print that you can't read, that you got to look at on the computer, it says things not covered under this workmanship warranty is improper installation or not products not installed in standards with standard roofing practices, which brought me to think, what is a workmanship warranty if it doesn't cover poor workmanship? Well, we had started having a back and forth with the Lewis Walker, and they provided they could never give us from the manufacturer anything saying I wasn't seeing what I was seeing. So we ad nauseum on it, trying to work, and there's great people to work with, nothing against that. We even offered that if you bring another manufacturer, we still want y'all to do that. Well, they could not bring another manufacturer because they wasn't certified with another manufacturer. And our issue is with the warranty of this manufacturer. So what we'd like to do is go to the second best bidder, and those bids were separated by $7,234 on a $175,000 project. It's not a big number, but we're getting a warranty that inherently spells out that they do stand behind core workmanship, which is a manufacturer we've used before. We've never been Tamco's never been brought to us as a manufacturer, so we did not know. You know,
The fine print.
Yeah, the fine print. So now that will be something we address up here, not down here.
Right.
We're glad you called it.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, that's, my wheelhouse, so.
Right. But that's a lot of fine print. I know sometimes it can get lost, a little speck here or there, especially when you see, some
And I
other
just
stuff they
feel,
give you.
if they could explain to me, no, we're gonna verify the installation, the manufacturer.
Right.
And so we're saying it's good, we're gonna stand behind
Right.
it.
It was
They
installed correctly or properly, but they're not.
never got any of that, it was just, we will not cover.
Yeah. Even though they're a certified dealer or installer, correct? So it seems like if they certify them as an installer, then they install your product, you'd be covered under warranty.
Warranties are, written to get out of.
Right.
So, and I just feel like
Yeah.
we couldn't go in this accepting that, knowing
Right.
that was right there.
And we need that guarantee that
And-
if something
and
happens.
I spoke with one of the owners of the company Friday, and I we both just agreed it was gonna be best to move on, because we
Yeah.
have to get this project
Right.
moving. And there's no reflection on the company
Right.
at all.
It happens.
They worked with us great. They just couldn't provide what we needed.
Mhm.
So you need a motion to cancel the contract with Lewis Walker, right? That's the first thing.
And then a separate motion.
So I move that.
1 second, Mr. Delaney. if you just-
And I was just gonna add that because of the work that Mr. Stockman did, excuse me, it became clear that the original bid did not meet the bid
Right.
specifications.
Correct.
So, I just wanna make that point clear.
Right.
That we didn't have a meeting of the minds, what we were asking for and what the original bidder was able to provide did not match.
Right.
Right.
Do we need to make that part of the motion?
No, but I just wanted for the board's sake and the public's sake. to
Okay, thank you.
So, I move we cancel that contract.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Do I hear a motion to approve the new bid?
So I move to go Keeler, or I'll second it. Let him.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you guys very much. Now is the time for public comments, and seeing none, I'm going to move to approval of the minutes. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Moving to the consent agenda. Mr. Asbell, do you have any questions or concerns?
I do not. Everything seems to be in line for me.
Ms. Campbell?
No questions.
Ms. Baxter?
No questions.
Mr. Wackers?
No questions.
And my questions were all answered too. So do we have a motion for the consent and finance agenda?
So move. Move approval.
Second.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. And now is superintendent comments.
Thank you very much. I just wanted to mention, I know it's already been said, that the Swanee River Fair is coming up next week, so it was funny that Coach Daniel said he hadn't heard of an area having days off for the fair.
Yeah, big in Lottery County as it is in
Right,
Levy.
Welcome to
For sure.
Levy. And it was a wonderful presentation, and I think it's great that they're hitting those students. And I think to bring this all together, like Ms. Taylor has done, work with the counselors in the CTE program. Mrs. Corbin has done work here from this level as well, reaching out to the schools. And I think with even this program, I'm sitting here thinking, wow, you know, we are touching so many students in that way, because there's some students that Ms. Taylor may miss. There's some students that Ms. Corbin, when she works with the regular counselors, that she may miss. But this, you're making sure that all our students are grabbed in some way and given that information. And if it's even across all the schools, it's just a way for great communication, that everybody gets the same communication at the same time. I think it'll be very helpful.
Absolutely.
I won't steal anybody else's thunder, but I know everybody's working hard for the last days before testing, that you can feel it. I know the schools are feeling it. I know district is feeling it, but everybody here, just so you know, pushing out and supporting the schools as best we can for the last push.
Right.
So, and looking forward to the fair, and that's all I have for you. Well, you're welcome.
Mr. Asbell? You're up.
Wow. I only have a couple things. I want to say thank you to the local AMVETs for their donation to the Bronxton FBLA chapter. I want to thank everybody who participated in the FFA Alumni Food Fest. Raised over $18,000 on what was considered a bad turnout. Some people had fishing tournaments and basketball stuff. We won't talk about that. And the weather was working against us. But folks showed up, showed out, and it was a good time. I'll go ahead and apologize for anybody that had to listen to me that night, tell stories and carry on. And if you didn't see my hat,
Saw
you
your hat.
missed it. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Okay. I want to remind everybody on the 12th, Thursday night, will be the night of sharing at Black Prong. I would love to tell you will see me there, but I can't be there. I have to go out of town, but that's okay. And then the last thing I was noticing, last meeting and this meeting, we've got a couple of teachers retiring, and you look at how long they've been there. One's been at Bronson the whole time. The other one started off in Chiefland, but realized, hey, I got to go somewhere better, so came to Bronson. That's right. But Nancy Williams has retired 31 years. Judy Beecham's 39 years. And what really bothers me with Judy retiring is Judy started shortly after graduated high school. So that means I'm really this age. But, you know, we have a lot of people that have spent a whole career in Levy County, and I appreciate that, and those years of devotion and service and lives they've touched. And I think that's pretty awesome. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Campbell?
Yes, I just wanted to share Cedar Key FFA. We had some success with Hannah Hammonds. I know nothing about the pullet aspect of, but I'm learning. Reserve class champion with her Black Old English game, and her gold Seabright earned grand champion. So, and also our middle school in the pullet contest were grand champions, and the high school placed third, but this is the first time they've been in that division, so I'm proud of them. And congratulations, our softball team won its first home game over Countryside last night, and that was exciting. The weightlifting competition that was with Chiefland, I believe, we had some personal bests. Track team, our Brody Gill was first in the long jump. And DECA has been in Orlando for the Career Development Conference, learning more business tactics and hospitality, so proud of them. And very complimentary of this Pathway to the Future. I think it's great that they found something that will motivate the kids. And that's the whole trick to these things, to find that motivating factor. And athletics, people always say, we put too much emphasis on athletics. Well, sometimes we don't put enough, and this is doing it. So it's good. Good stuff.
Thank you, Ms. Campbell. Ms. Baxter?
Yes, I enjoyed that as well, and I really appreciated, as I said, that they wanted to share it with the rest of the district. Our elementary school at Chiefland, they're getting ready for testing. Ms. Campbell and I have both been volunteering with the little ones there, and it's been going well. At the high school, they've been celebrating Read Across America, and they had their media center decorated and set up with activities, and that went really well. And then the kids are participating and getting ready for the Swanee River Fair. And that's all.
Mr. Whitehurst?
Yeah. Well, first, Williston did bring another state championship to Levy County. The Williston girls, and then the boys were runner-up. The overtime game, very exciting.
Yes, it was exciting.
It was there.
Very
so
exciting.
Very exciting game. So almost brought both of them, but and hopefully maybe we can get them here to recognize them at one of the meetings soon. That'd be nice.
Okay.
I know we've done it before for the boys, and I like to see that.
Absolutely.
So that was kind of one of the things. I said baseball's in full swing. The middle school's playing right now up in Lake City. We got the fair next week. Like I said, we got track, weightlifting, beach volleyball, softball.
Beach volleyball.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, they do pretty good. So yeah, so we got all the things, and like I said, just like I said, we got testing coming up, and like I say, as far as the pathway, like I say, you take for granted that some of these parents know kind of what to tell their kids, but like I said, as Mr. Weeks said, your first generation of college, if their parents didn't do it, they don't know about taking ACTs and, all the college stuff. And like I said, if athletics is the way to get them in there, to kind of encourage them to, find a path. And I know we do a good thing with, either have a career, college, military, but something to get all these kids going somewhere. We don't want any lost kids, just not, and anything we can do to support. And it's good that Jason has kind of reached out to the community and not just, had it within the walls of school. And it's also good for our school to be mentioned in the community because, lots of times in the news and everything else, all we hear is the negative, so it's good to have, somebody out there representing, speaking for the school and speaking in a positive light because, we're in the business as Cameron likes to say, we want to try to be like the Chick-fil-A of school. So, being out there and saying what the school can do for you, and trying to show that we're trying to help these kids, and letting the community see that. So I think it's very important. That's all I have. Thank you.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a long time coming, and it's not I mean, as far as the course checklist, that's like what's old is new again. It's not, I love seeing that. It's pretty, and speaking from someone that had teenage boys, I mean, you can only rely on them to bring things home so much. So I love the QR codes too. I think that's a great tool. So, yeah, that was a great presentation. And as far as Yankeetown, they're having a big attendance drive with the goal being 90% every day for, I think, March to mid-April. They were at 89%.
I
So
know.
they were so close. And they're having a big science night on March 26th with Star Lab and Steve the Science Guy. So also doing testing and everything everyone else is doing. So Yankeetown's in good shape. And that is all I have. So if there's no other business, meeting is adjourned.